Okay.
Hello and welcome to the presentation of entire DMS. I have alongside with me Puneet. Hello Puneet.
Hello, Abdul. How are you?
Good, good, good. Welcome to the entire DMS. So today we will have a quick introduction about entire DMS, followed by product demonstration where we look at the different functionalities and features of entire DMS. So, Puneet, to start with, can you give us, please, a quick intro about entire DMS? What is entire DMS and what are the uses? How entire DMS can help organizations? So, Puneet, go ahead, please, with the introduction.
Okay, sure, Abdul. I can just explain some points so that can be explained DMS very well. So the DMS, we can say it's a document management system, and as our all products, in this product is also 100% web-based products. And the functionally, we can say we have a configurable dashboard in DMS. Our dashboards are highly configurable. We can add a graphical view, we can add a data on it, and we can add the information as per our requirement. Additionally, we have a user access control, very strong user access control. We can say we can create multiple groups over there, and we can access or we can manage which group of people can access what kind of information on the system. So, specific group can access to a specific folder only, and we can enable like a read or write feature for the specific user group. Further, we have options like we can manage and make multiple categories. Categories in the sense we can say is a folder system, that a traditional way of view we can say. So here we are referring it as a category. So we can create multiple categories like if we have multiple department, for example, accounting department, financial department, IT department, etc. So we can make different kind of categories based on the department, and we can make unlimited subcategories over here. So that's how we can manage and record our all kind of documents differently. We are using electronic document viewer, which so we don't need any third party application to view any kind of document. That DMS supports 24 types of documents, which includes Microsoft Word, Excel, PowerPoint, PDF, various type of audio files, video files, etc. So in fact, you don't need any third-party application, and all types of files you can view directly on the screen. We have multiple features for the file, like we can securely check in and check out the file. Additionally, we can select the user. Selected user can check and check in, so that we can manage who can check in and check out. So that can be accessed. Also, we maintain the history, like our system records all type of history, who made the changes with the username and time and date in that case.
So that
User,
is, if
yeah,
I interrupt you here, Puneet, so that is your audit trail. That's what you mean by keeping audit trail of all the changes that have been made in the system, whether it's creating, updating, uploading documents, or moving it to markup. So the your system or the entire DMS can keep track of all the audit trail of all user activities within the system.
correct, Abdul. Thank you for the additional comments on that. So additionally, we can say our system or users can rate and comment on the file. So they can mention their individual comment, and that comment can be viewed all the users in central point of the location. We can generate and create a barcode as well as QR code for the file. So, and that barcode and QR code can be scanned with any barcode scanner. Like we can use smartphones also to scan that barcode. The system have feature to use a scanner, like we can connect our physical scanner to system, and file can be scanned. Our reports, we have configurable reports that we can design and configure report as per our requirement. We have workflow management in the system, so we can configure workflow, like approved workflow will configure, so that it can be securely publish the document. We have content search feature, which is very good feature, that we can search a file based on its content. So any readable file can be searched based on its content. We have metadata search feature, which is also next or another very good feature for in sense of searching facility. We have notification feature, so that we can get a notification on SMS and email as well. So I hope this is quite clear about all the features that we have.
Okay, thank you for the introduction, Puneet. That was a comprehensive introduction where you highlighted the main features of entire DMS. Now we will move to the product demonstration part. So let's get started.
Okay, so you can see over here, as I mentioned, our dashboard is highly configurable. You can see on the dashboard here we have mentioned the graphical view, the data view as well as, and we can add new dashlet over here. So we can select multiple options or multiple dashlets options from the list. There are some predefined dashlets over here that we can select as per our requirement.
If we go
So
back to to the dashboards, then the users also they can select the type of columns or uh,
correct, correct.
that
So
they
they
have
can
ready.
configure and they can just change like a pie chart of the bar chart, line chart, etc.
And they can view the details also.
Additional details they can view over here.
Okay, okay, great.
So this is a very good dashboard you can say in that case. A detailed dashboard. So further, we will show with the menu. We will go with the menu. In the menu, we have so let's see with the users control tag. I mentioned that user control. We have got user control. So here we can create and enable users. Like we can create
So if
user
we look
roles.
at the user roles here, the user management model here, Puneet, what is
Mhm.
the main purpose of this? How can we use all this for an organization when you talk about the user management role?
Like okay, so let me show you. So let's see the user roles. What user roles that we have existingly. So you can see like accounting role, administrator. So these are basically like departments that organization usually have. So for example, in the accounting department, so here we can manage. So what kind of user access? So all users connected to this accounting role, user role, will have access or to this selected function. Like we can see what user access we can have.
So if I can summarize this, where if we go back to the user roles, Puneet,
Yeah,
so in organization, we might have different users at different levels. Where I have, for example, an admin user, I have a head of department, I have business user. So here in this screen, what I can do, I can create different user roles for different users, where I give them access to different menus, and I give them different access rights.
correct.
Okay, we can move on.
Okay, so this was about the user roles. So let's move forward with the workflow configuration. So workflow configuration is another good option, so good feature that we have. So here we can configure the workflow in the sense like if we want any document to be approved first before publishing to the all employees, so that can be configured over here. So we
So
have.
how does that link with my document management system here, Puneet, when it comes to the workflow? So
Yeah, so linking can be like if we have enabled any approval process or approval required in the specific category. So on the category base, we can connect this. Okay.
So, for example, that will be where I can. We talked about initiating a workflow for different categories or subcategories for a specific folder. So, in this case, if I have an account, for example, a folder, and I wanted to initiate a workflow. So here what we see is the rule name where rules can be created, for example, for accounting documents folder. If I don't want, if for example I want to initiate a workflow where all the documents that are going to be added to this particular folder, it needs to go through an approval. So here I define what are the conditions. So as we can see here, the conditions are defined, which is the description is account documents, the type of the documents, and then the status, which is pending status. I can define also the users who are involved in this process, whether it can be a serial approval or parallel approval. The approval also it can be user type or it can be role type, as we have seen earlier, where we can create different roles. So the main objective of this workflow, you initiate a workflow where you define your, the rule name, the condition, and the users for your specific folder. The workflow is not mandatory for each folder of document management system. This is a feature where if it's required, you want to have a constraint where users will not be allowed to add, uh, will not be allowed to add documents to that specific folder without an approval. If that's needed, then the workflow needs to be initiated. Otherwise, users can automatically add folders, add documents to their specific folder with its category and subcategory.
Yeah, that's a perfect answer to the question, you can say. So let's see about that where we can configure this kind of approval process. Like we can enable it at the category level. So let's see the categories, and we have a inbuilt
Before we
predefined categories.
move on to the categories here, this is your indexing point, right? Can you,
Yes.
I would say, talk about this? How important is this category master, or where it can be used when we say category master, which is your indexing? So here you're creating your folders and subfolders, and you specify whether that folder requires approval, as we see on the screen, or document masking also can be enabled here. We want to highlight here that the document masking it's only for Word documents. There's no, I mean, it's not applicable to the PDF. You define also your retention period. What we mean by that is how long the document will be retained before it's archived as well. You define also your the indexing in entire DMS that we have. It's users can do unlimited indexing, which means that you can create unlimited number of subfolders for this particular account. So there's no limitation on that. As you can see here on screen, we have subcategory 1. I can drill down to subcategory 3, 4, and so on, where there's no limitation, which is the one of the unique features that entire DMS have, which is unlimited indexing can be done, at the folder level. So that is the category master that we have initiated. I like to continue with our features.
Yeah, well said, Abdul. So, like, we have a categories based on our department, we can say, and a subcategory, as you mentioned, we can create multiple subcategories over here. That features we have require approval. This feature that we were talking about, the workflow approval. So, if any category is marked for this required approval, we'll go for the approval process. So additional feature that we have access control that we can see over here on the screen. So for that specific category, we can manage access control. So which user or which user role can access to the specific category. Also, additionally, we can manage if that user role or users can read only or write also that feature. Write means it can be edit feature they will enable for us.
So
So
Puneet, if I have given access rights to particular user at
mhm.
the main parent folder, so the user will have subsequent access to the subfolders. Is that
Correct,
correct?
correct. So if we are enabling this access for the main category, for example, this accounting department, so this user will have all the access for all subcategories. Additionally, we can provide access for specific subcategory also that can be additionally provided in the user section.
Which means that that user will have access only to that
Only the
only specific.
specific subcategory over there. So let's move further with the additional feature, which is a feature about the additional field we can set up. So this is specifically for the metadata search we can see. So here user can define additional field which can be used for the search facility additionally for further use we can say. So like you can see on the screen for the accounting documents, so whatever the documents which where we are uploading in this specific category, we can enable or we can add this additional fields over here. So these additional fields can be used in a detailed search further. So this we can we call it as a metadata search here.
So the metadata can be added by the users before they upload the documents where they need to provide those details. Then based on the search can be done based on this metadata later on, where it will help the users to use these metadata as a filtering options later on when they want to retrieve or search a particular document.
Correct. Okay, so this is the use of metadata. So further, let's move with the FileNet features. So how
What
can
is FileNet before we move on to
so
that feature? Maybe you can
FileNet?
tell us what is the FileNet and how does it work? I mean,
So FileNet feature is specifically for accessing all the file and managing the files. That where we can upload files, we can review the files, we can download it, we can modify the files. So all that file related features that can be accessed from the FileNet.
okay, so the FileNet here, the entire DMS comes with, I would say, extensive features. So let us explore those features, Puneet, and see if
Sure.
you can agree on
Sure.
that.
The first we'll start with adding a file. So, for example, I need to add a file in this agreement document folder, for example. Okay. Here we can add additional we can specify additional subcategories over here. That is also possible. Or if we want to add on a particular category directly, this is also possible for us. Okay. Once I select the category, we can select this category, so over here on you can see we can drag and drop also.
So we
So
can add the files here in multiple ways. What are the ways where the users can add, I would say, a file or a document in an entire DMS?
yeah, we can browse the file from the local drive, whatever file that we have saved on the computer that can be accessed directly from the screen.
So we have a
Additionally,
drag
we
and
can
drop
drag and
feature.
drop. You can use like a drag and drop also. We have a feature that additionally we can just add multiple files also. For example, we can drag and drop multiple files over here. That can be added directly to the folder. We can save the file after successfully. Further, we have scan feature. So if a scanner is connected to the system, we can scan directly from this button. We have a retention policy option over here. So the days we can mention after the specified days, the file will go to the archive feature. So you can see over here the uploaded files that we can see over here.
Okay, if we go up, there is another feature that you have. We go back to the top of the screen when we have archived files.
Yeah, so that is the feature that I was mentioning about. We have archive file feature. So files can be archived so that can be retained entirely for the entire time we can see.
Okay, is there a way of if I accidentally archive the file to roll it back?
Yeah, we have the feature. Even we can roll it back a single file or multi-file file in one go. So you can see on the screen, we can select the file that we want to roll it back, and there is a button to roll it back. So it will roll back to the that original folder. We can see. Additionally, we can export those file as a zip. So that can be a very less size, and that can be form of zip. We can save on a hard drive. So again, if we have access to download the file, only then that user can export the file.
Yes, so the users should have the access rights in order to
Yeah, if
access
a
all
user
the.
have only viewing right, so he won't be able to download the files.
Okay. When we look at the other features that we have, as I can see on your screen, we have against these folder types, we have
Right. So
icons. Can you explain
let
those
me.
icons?
Okay, okay, sure. I will go with all the features that we have. So adding, so let's see with this file. You can see the as I mentioned, checkout and check-in feature we have. So this button enables us to check out the file securely. So once it is checked out, we can edit the file and upload from the next button directly. So once we upload the file, it will automatically check in. And then the next feature we have mentioned that we
So the
maintain a
checkout,
version history.
check-in and checkout feature, if we take a look at that, what is the purpose of that? Is that
So checkout feature is specifically like securely editing the file if now this file is published for everyone for use. So once I check out this file, so everyone user will know that someone has checked out the file, and maybe they are editing the file in that case. So that can be a kind of notification for all of the users.
so? Then once they have uploaded the file, the system will recognize that That is another version of that particular
Yeah.
document, and then it will update directly. Can we see that on the screen, please?
Yeah, sure, sure. The first, I will show you the initial version. So on the history page, we can see only the first version is there, and they are recording the category name also, the uploaded by the username who uploaded and the when he uploaded that file. So all these details we can just track and log. The system can log on this case. Further, we have an option to rate and comment, as I mentioned previously. So user can rate and comment on the specific document, and these ratings and comment can be viewed by other users on the screen. So this can be seen on in this option. So next option will enable us or enable all users to see all the comments on the same screen over here.
The remarks also where they can add their metadata as well as part of add remarks and subscription. We have talked earlier about adding metadata where we have added in the additional field setup. These values are reflected here where the users also they can add their input from the additional field or I would say from the remarks screen where these details can be added as well.
Correctly, well said. And these features or these details we can use for searching further. So
Yes.
I will show you the search feature.
Before that, Puneet, can I view the documents? You have mentioned in your presentation that the software has a inbuilt document viewer. Can we see
Yeah, I
that?
can see. So finally, just a couple of options are there. Just I want to
Yes.
mention you before moving from the screen that we can export the document in a zip format, or we can multiply export the document. Additionally, we can generate a barcode and QR code over here. So there are buttons to barcode and QR code where we can use the scanner or we can view on the screen. So there is a button you can anytime access. Okay, so let me generate a barcode over here. So I will show you how the barcode looks like on the screen. And I have generated a barcode for these three files. I will show you how does it look like. So you can see over here the barcode. So similarly, we can see the barcode or generate a barcode for multiple files over here. And we have an archive feature that I mentioned. So multiple files can be archived in one go with this button, and with multiple files can be deleted over here. So these are the multiple features that we are having. So let's see that you mentioned about you want to view the document or multiple type of document you want to view on the screen. So here we can see the over here at the left panel, you can easily access to any category and you can jump directly to a subcategory of
So the
the.
view documents here, Puneet, is showing me an overview of all my folders and subfolders, which will help me to if I want to retrieve a specific document in a specific subfolder, which I don't know how to get to, so I can use the view document to show me the hierarchy or the tree structure of my folders, which later on I can click on that subfolder as you have on your screen and retrieve that specific document.
Correct.
So if I
Exactly.
want to view that as well, can I view that as well if I wanted to view that document as well within? You mentioned your document viewer. How does your document viewer work? Can you look at the example?
Yes, we can see over here that we can just click on any document and we don't require, as I mentioned, we don't require any third-party application over here which can be directly viewed from the screen. As I mentioned, we can jump directly to any other category over here which can be directly clicked and directly open on the screen. So let's see, I can just open any image or any PDF file. So let's see, I'm opening a PDF file over here. So even if I don't have a Acrobat Reader over here in the screen or the install on my system, so I can view it directly over here. So this is the PDF file that you can see.
I see that you have on your document viewer other features. Can you explain those features, please, that
Yeah,
you
we
have?
have multiple features over here directly. Like we can add it in a favorite. So once we have added it in favorite, we can directly access without jumping into file. Additionally, we can rate and comment on this screen directly. That we have an option on the file my document feature. Same feature that we can view rate and comments over here. We can download the file again if we have the access for downloading. Then only a user can download the file from the screen. We can print the file directly from here. Again, this require an approval or permission to print the file over here. And the additional comments or remarks if we have any for anyone mention about that any remarks or comment for the description, for the file that can be viewed over here. And all the PDF feature that usually we have, PDF feature can be enabled. Like we can download this feature, then download this file, we can print directly. This is the PDF feature that we have. So we can save it on the local drive. Again, it's as I mentioned, all about the user access control. Yeah, we have an annotation feature, and we can present it directly as a this
What is the
feature.
purpose of this annotation feature? Can you
So annotation feature, like we can highlight any data, or we can just point out. We can add a comment over here for specifically for the PDF files or document files we have, that we can add the annotations. So this is how the PDF we can you can see there we have a document file, we have an Excel file, PDF file, images file, PNG. So these kind of files we all the support. So as I mentioned, 24 types of files we can support on here. So this was about the view documents, search document feature we will see now. So this is the very interesting part of the DMS system, you can say. So we can search a document using a file name. For example, if I am typing a JD, you can see over here. So all the file which name includes JD over here, they are displaying in that case. Okay, so this file includes JD, this JD, and JD. So this is how we can search directly in a global search. You can say the search feature search amongst all the categories and subcategories over here. The next best feature in the system, we can say, like we have a content search. For example, uh, job description that I want to search over here. So we can search directly from job description screen. So the files you are seeing these, all these files have the content as a job description. You can say. So see, this file have content as a job description. So here, all the readable files can be searched with the content for any content. You can see. Another that feature we have an author search, like the file who the person who have uploaded all the files that can be searched over here, like.
So, for example, if I want to know all the files uploaded by Puneet, then but that user code I can set
Yes,
using the
sir. We
user
have
code and the
that. We can
username.
search here. The
Okay.
last feature, search feature we have is the advanced search option. Here we can mention the category, subcategories, anything like that.
So this is where we use the metadata actually, where we
Correct. This is
get
the metadata search. Right? If any document have updated with the invoice number, that is additional field that I mentioned, so that can be searched over here directly. For example, if I am mentioning the invoice number, and that can be searched, so that can be searched over here directly.
okay.
Or if any other additional feature that I have based on the subcategory, that can be viewed directly. Like you can
Okay,
see
so if you look
for
at
these multiple options we have.
okay,
For example, if for this agreement document, I want to see the data uploaded or files uploaded by the Rohit, so that can be searched directly from here.
okay, and I can view that document as well if I.
Yeah, you can view document from this screen directly by clicking on the document link. You can view directly on the screen here, which enable us to document viewer.
Okay,
So
okay.
these are all the features that we have to upload document,
I
to
see
view
that.
document, search document.
I see that you have also published documents. So can you touch up on that? What is the purpose of published documents and how is
Mhm.
that used before we move
So
on to the business
published
process?
document is a very good feature for the internal communication. We can say if we want to provide a memo to all the employees, in that case we can use this published document feature. For example, I want to go with the category, like I will go with the agreement documents category, or any other category like accounting document category. I will go with the subcategory then. And here we can mention multiple features like document sharing enable. These are the additional fields that we mentioned initially.
I can
Then,
attach also related documents to this to my memo. Yeah.
right. We have an attachment feature also. Once we have save this process, the
Okay.
attachment feature will
We'll
get
save it to
enabled.
see that.
Yeah.
Okay.
First, I will add the subject that we have some fields which are mandatory to update,
Okay.
like For example, I want to give a memo to all employees that can be added over
And
here.
then I see
I
that you
can
have a.
control and uncontrolled type of publish. We
What
can
does that mean by control and
like
uncontrol?
in
Or
uncontrolled we can enable for view users like
so
a
you mean you can
specific
add
user.
users to
Like we
specific
can
users?
add a specific users in uncontrolled view. Like we can add a specific user to only that selected users. This document will get published
Okay, and
from here.
control.
And control in the sense like we can publish the document in a controlled way. For example, to all users we can say.
To control here, we mean that it will go to the users who have access to that category and subcategory. That's what we mean by
Right, right,
control.
right, right.
Uncontrolled here that we have, it means that we have to attach the users in this case. If we say all, that it will give access to all the users that we have. Users also can be given a different access rights where they can comment, share, download, print. The document also can be password protected. So if we save that, then we can see that we can add related documents or attach documents to these specific documents.
Yeah, so you can see the add and attach documents over here. So attach document will enable us to attach the document from the
And you can have multiple ways.
scan, master upload, and upload from the local drive as well. Additionally, we have unrelated document which can be track or linked from our existing document with the system.
So I can attach an existing document from the accounts documents if it's required, and
Right.
I can attach documents from that specific folder.
Correct. So you can see over here all the documents can be viewed on a single screen, and I can just select multiple files over here and can be attached in one
Okay.
go.
If I want to look at the documents that are being published, how do I retrieve published documents, for example, so that.
So we have a managed published document like the existing document which I have published. We can see over here. I can just see with the open filter. I'm just going for looking at the published document. So here we can see that other previous published documents we can see, and there are multiple action buttons over here.
What are they?
Yeah, we can just temporarily stop publishing if we want to stop this publishing for temporary purpose. We want to edit anything
So it means
or
that it will not be available to the end users if that's
correct,
what
correct.
it
So
means.
end users can't be see that publishing. Okay, and like we can restart the once we have stopped it temporarily, we can restart the publishing in that case. Or if we want to cancel the publishment, like if our publishment has been completed, the purpose has been completed, we can cancel it. Or if any other reason that time, we can cancel it over here. Additional or further, we can move it to archive folder. That the same feature that we have with the documents.
Okay, okay. So that is the document publishing in general. What are the other features that left us in entire database that we want to
Entire
explore?
time with the main feature, that reporting feature, you can say,
Okay.
and the
Shouldn't we
approval.
look at first the business process before we get into the? We have
Yeah,
completed the file net.
business. Right. So
So,
FileNet is completed like the last feature which I was about to talk about the Apple
approval
feature
stage,
that
yeah, before we move
so
on.
that can be seen over here quickly. We can see that. For example, you can see as I mentioned, so we can enable the approval workflow over here. So if I have enabled the approval required for this specific category, so these three documents have been uploaded by any user, but those are not published yet because it's pending for the approval. From this screen, the approver, a specified approver, can say a view file and approve based or reject based on the
And
content.
that's for the category and subcategory when we have initiated our flow.
Correct. We can see over here that the category and subcategory on the same screen. We can see, and we can jump over any subcategory or category directly.
And if it's approved, it will be part of the documents or the folder. If it's rejected, where it will go?
Once if it is rejected, we can see it on the rejected document folder here, over here. So we have the rejected document folder directly, where we can see all the rejected documents on the screen,
Okay.
and we can just re-upload from the screen, rejected document screen. In that case.
Great.
Further, we will move with the business process, so we can configure the new business process. For example, if we want to add a new service request for the specific service request, there is an option to add the service request over here. So like I'm just going to the additional feature with the status pending or under process or approved or denied. So there are multiple searches we can go with the option.
If we look at approved business process here,
Mhm.
so the approved, if we look at approved business process here, uh, where we have, so the purpose of the business process here is that it helps organizations to initiate different business processes here. For example, a claim process or any internal processes where it can be initiated by the business user, for example, for that specific category or subcategory where, for example, the process is initiated, and it can go for different levels of approval like serial or parallel where the related users or the assigned users will need to approve that particular business process. Yeah, the business process also it can be tracked where we see here we have different features. For example, if it's initiated, then I can look at, for example, where I have initiated a process here, the version of the process, if it has to go to multiple versions, the document from which user, the subject, and the status where it requires an approval. So this screen helps to track the different business processes that we have. We have a lot of other things as well where this escalation process can be initiated for that business process if it's required, and that's how the business process is initiated and tracked. Workflow also can be initiated as we have seen earlier for business processes where workflows also can be initiated as well. So that is all about the business process. What have we left, Punita's entire day was
So
looking
we
to?
have the last option like reports thing, which we have multiple kind of report, and additionally this report can be configurable. Right, if any client requires specified report, we can configure the report at the implementation stage only.
And what are the tools? I mean, how do we configure these reports? We have a report generation tool where it can help in customizing these reports if the available reports are not meeting the customer's requirements.
Correct. On the additional report, we can export this report into multiple types of format like PDF, document, and CSV. We can export it directly. We can print the report directly from the screen, as well as we can email the report to the existing user. If we want, we can control what kind of column that we want to see on the screen or download it. Additionally, we have a filter, like we can
On the
filter
report.
out multiple type of details, like we can filter out based on category and subcategory. So this kind of filter that we have with each and every report, we can say.
And we can see that we have multiple reports are available as recently viewed documents and document counts, archive documents, which is all part of entire DMS.
Correct. Archive report and BPM reports also we have. So this was all about the DMS features and functionalities what we have. So Abdul, you want to add something else?
Now, I think we've covered all the points that related to entire DMS. Thank you for listening, and I hope the demonstration was useful.
Thank you. Thank you.